Hello, my name is Michael Grennan, and today I will be discussing multiple sclerosis from a gendered perspective. What is an autoimmune disorder? An autoimmune disorder is a condition in which your body becomes unable to distinguish itself from non-self. This means that the body unknowingly attacks itself. This can be problematic for a patient, as there is no cure to this type of disease, but there is treatment for the pathophysiologies or disordered bodily processes that arise. Examples of autoimmune disease include multiple sclerosis, anemia, type 1 diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, and many more. What is multiple sclerosis? Multiple sclerosis is a demyelinating autoimmune disorder that disables the brain and the central nervous system. Demyelination is the autoimmune trait associated in the disease as the body's immune system attacks the protective sheet known as the myelin that covers the nerve fibers within the spinal cord. Symptoms include numbness, weakness, in one or more limbs, typically on one side of the body at a time. Electric shock sensations that occur with certain neck movements, and tremor or involuntary movements. This is a progressive disorder, so as this disease takes its course, episodes will occur more frequently and include other symptoms such as partial or incomplete loss of vision, slurred speech, and dizziness. This is a CT scan of a brain inflicted with multiple sclerosis. The white matter areas are areas where damage has been done to the myelin sheath that occurred from the immune system failing to recognize itself from non-self. What do multiple sclerosis and other autoimmune diseases have in common? This is the main idea of this presentation. Autoimmune diseases are more prevalent in women than they are in men. The cause of this occurrence is not certain, however. Most experts believe that autoimmune prevalence in women is due to bodily hormones such as estrogen, the X chromosome, and immune system response, as women have higher expression of innate immune response. This is the first defense against a foreign agent of the body. This is an interesting and complicated list of data. Women tend to have a significantly higher prevalence of autoimmune disorders in comparison to men. Now, these results are just about 11 years old, so they're not exactly accurate, however, they do represent good numbers. Why is multiple sclerosis more prevalent in women? The reason behind this prevalence is not certain. However, many theorize that the prevalence occurs through the same reasonings as mentioned for autoimmune disorders and a couple other factors. X chromosome deactivation, immune system response, and sex hormones are all reasons. Additional reasons multiple sclerosis is more prevalent in women than men include vitamin D deficiency, which is common in women, as well as environmental factors such as women who work in manual labor or are continuously exposed to carcinogenic air pollution on the job site, and women who live in low-income areas and have experienced exposure to air pollution due to location of low-income housing, which usually are around landfills, industrial facilities, and other air-polluting facilities. As stated in Chapter 2 of Nicole Natraz's book, Gender and the Environment, women are represented as members of lowest classes of societies. Because of this, women are not offered resources necessary to properly maintain good health. This is problematic as this instance can reduce the chances of women seeking attention to bodily ailments that may be overlooked due to the price of seeking medical attention and the lack of prioritization to women's health. The way these women live and the way they live close to these industrial facilities can be very toxic to them, and because of their class standing, they're subject to only these places and not many other choices. This is why ecofeminism is a movement that can be utilized to drive the force needed to protect women and their health. Karen Warren mentioned in her presentation of the power and premise of ecological feminism by drawing the connection between gendered and environmental concerns. We can derive a larger response as this incorporation will gather a larger population of people. Women's health versus men's health. Women's health is different in comparison to men's health. Women's issues are often tested and analyzed in comparison to a male subject, which are tested for a common baseline knowledge. It was not until between 1980 and 1990 that doctors discovered that women displayed different symptoms of heart attack in comparison to men. Women are 50 to 75% more likely to experience a reaction to medication. This could possibly be a result of lack of testing in women of drug interaction. Preventive health is underused by women in comparison to men, as women traditionally have been responsible for the maintenance of the family unit and often had to sacrifice her own well-being for the sake of the children and the father of the family, as stated in Gender and the Environment by Nicole DeTraz. Why are women not tended to as frequently in comparison to men? If we were to remove gender roles within the family unit, we can allow the woman to feel equal in priority in terms of seeking medical attention for common ailments of the body. This could possibly allow women to seek medical attention immediately to slow the progression and lessen the effects of multiple sclerosis. Gendered marginalization is an issue that involves a reduced level of concern and emphasis of women in one's point of view. This can be problematic as it can induce bias in research and continue the traditional trend of reducing a woman's role in society. Marginalization occurs in all aspects of society, from legislation to the work setting, as well as in medicine. Eliminating gender bias will allow equal opportunity for women and men in efforts to seek medical attention when needed. Multiple sclerosis, along with most autoimmune disorders, are most prevalent amongst women than in men. Women who have been traditionally left to care for the needs of the family members rather than herself could possibly be the reason to why there is such a lack of data that can indicate why women have a higher prevalence than men. If we reduce the gender marginalization and remove gender roles in society, we can come together to create a greater good for everyone and establish equality.